Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've been here, and for that I apologize. I've had a lot going on, but today we're going to do just a little bit of a chat and a get ready with me. This is also a tutorial for an eye look that I've been working on for a few weeks. Well, about a month and a half really. But we're going to start off with my, oh, no, not my foundation, my primer. So today I will be trying out the Benefit Professional Primer. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but this is just a little sample. It came in one of my mom's Ipsy bags. So I'm going to be trying it out today. And hopefully it will work like I need it to. So, like I said, there's been a lot going on, of course, with the upcoming election, which is relevant to this particular tutorial. I really like the feel of this primer. It's almost like silk on my skin. Okay. But as I was saying, the election is relevant. Today's tutorial is going to be the eye look that I will be wearing when I go vote on November 3rd. It is very, very important that everyone who is eligible to do so, to vote. It is essential. Okay, so now that is on there. Now we can move on to my foundation, which is the CoverGirl True Blend in the shade M3. You'll just have to excuse how gross this looks. And I'm just going to pump this onto the back of my hand. A couple of little pumps. I'm starting to get low on it. And I'm just going to ask you right now to ignore any background noise. The dogs are barking at every sound that they hear right now. And I'm going in with a dry blender just because I prefer the coverage I get from a dry blender. And I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to bring that all the way up to the eye. I will be adding just a little bit of concealer. But this foundation is such a good match that I don't really need a whole lot. And I can bring it all the way up. And it pretty much covers all of my dark circles and everything. And there's also a dog barking somewhere outside, which of course does not help the dogs that live here any at all. Bring that down across the chin and jawline. Make sure you get above the lip and in the little edges of the nose. And you also want to bring that down under the jawline. And I'm just doing little sweeping motions with that under there to get a good blend so that it just kind of disappears rather than having a line. Now, I do like this foundation. I've noticed that it does oxidize just a little bit orange on me at some times, depending on how much sunlight exposure I get and how hot it is. We're going to bring this up over the forehead now. And I had already done my skincare as far as my moisturizer and all of that before I started. But we got that. Okay. And that looks to be pretty well blended. There we go. Now then, I'm going to go in with my Benefit Bling Cakeless Concealer. If you'll remember, I originally got this from Influencer and I fell in love with it. Put just a little dab on the inner and outer corners of the eye. That's really all you need. Bring just a little bit down the center of my nose, and then I take and go right in between on my cheek where I will, between where I put my bronzer for contouring. And then I'm going to take the tip of this blender and blend out from the inner and outer corner of the eye. And I bring that just all the way across. and smooth that out. You can see it does help to brighten the area just a little bit, but the foundation that I use really covers it quite well. And I definitely want to brighten the inner corner and under eye area for this look. And then I take the bottom of it, same part I used for the foundation, and dab that on the nose. And I bring it from the nose up onto the very center of the forehead just a little bit, just to help, again, brighten the area. And the same with this over here on the cheek in between where I put my bronzer, just to brighten it up, to keep things light. Here we go. And now that that is all blended in, I'm going to go across with my Ciate London Extraordinary Translucent Powder. I love this stuff. A little goes a very long way. And I've just got a big, fluffy, this is an NYX professional makeup brush. It's the number 2. That will focus, maybe not. And I take just a little bit of that and I tap off as much of the excess as I can possibly get. And I start with tapping it under my eyes just to soak up any extra oils from the foundation, the primer, the concealer. And again, just tap as much of the excess off as I can, and then I lightly brush across the forehead, down around the face, and that's just with one dip into the thing, across the nose and cheeks, and then I blend that all in. And I make sure I also blend what is underneath the eyes really, really well, because I don't want to have a heavy, thick layer of the powder on. I just want enough to say it's there, just to keep everything from being too shiny or too oily. If I need to, I pick up just a little bit more to kind of catch the temple area, because that's one of the places I tend to accumulate a lot of sebum production. And again, the little corners here on the nose, and especially with wearing masks, the nose and the chin and jawline area, it's really important to make sure that you keep those areas dry. And it is also extremely important to make sure that you wash your face when you take your mask off for the day. Otherwise, you run the risk of masking. Nobody wants mask acne. Okay, so we are going to go from this into the eye look. And I had a poll up on my page, my Facebook page, for about 2.5 weeks, I think, with a series of 5 looks, 5 eye looks. And I'm going to show you the one that got the most votes. And we will be using the Jolie Beauty Proud palette for this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the shade Ellen, right here, this middle blue shade. And I'm using, pretty sure this is a Farrah brush. As you can clearly see, though, it is a well-loved, well-used brush, and I have no idea exactly which one it is anymore. So we're going to go into the shade Ellen. We're going to try to not pick up too much color, but we're going to take that all the way across the main part of the lid. We're just going to tap that color onto the lid. And you'll notice I have not done a transition shade yet. We're just focusing right now on the color that goes on the lid. And we're going to bring this out just a little bit into that outer V. You don't have to get it real close to the lash line because we'll be lining as well with a different shade. But we're tapping that just all the way across the lid, right up to the crease, not above the crease, just to the crease. Okay, we're going to repeat that on the other eye. And you also don't want to get too close on that inner corner because you want that to be able to be a bright spot. So we will be doing something different on the outer or on the inner corner again. But just tap that color all over the lid and into the outer corner, right up to the crease. You want that color to be just about even. I gotta grab my mirror and make sure I'm not quite close enough to see real well. There we go. Add just a little bit more. And like I said, we're not brushing this on, we are tapping it on. We want to pack this color onto our lid. And based on what you have already seen, I'm sure you have figured out the direction that I personally will be voting. I have a feeling that most of the people on this channel already pretty well knew that. I am a Democrat. I am a proud Democrat. I will gladly support Biden and Harris and every other Democratic candidate on the ballot. This is a blue wave inspired look. Okay, now that that's out of the way, as you can see, I've got that blue pretty well laid down on the lid and just into the outer corner here. So next we're going to go with the fluffy end of the same brush into the shade Lady Fill. That is the lighter shade. And we're going to take just a little bit of that on the fluffy end of the brush. And we are going to gently work that into the crease. We don't want to bring it up too high, but we do want to work that into the crease. Just like that. See? And we're going to repeat on the same side. Like I said, we don't want a whole lot of color. We just want a little bit, almost like a little wash of blue up there. And we are working that in. And also, as we are working that in, we are blending the darker blue into the lighter blue. Okay, there we go. Now then, from there, I am taking, this is an LA Colors matte eyeliner, and it's kind of a turquoisey shade. And this is what we are going to line our upper lash line with. And we're going to start at that outer corner where the edge of our makeup is on that eye look. And we're going to work that over to the inner corner. We don't need a real thick line. We just need the line to be there. And then we are going to, at the outer corner, we're going to bring that up as well. So that it creates just a little bit of a V shape on the outer corner of the lid. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Again, just working that into the outer corner along the edge of our makeup where we had that line before that we created with the eyeshadow. And of course, if you don't have the Proud palette but you want to recreate this look, you can use what you've got available in similar shades, or even if you prefer other shades, it's okay. The main thing is to make your voice heard on election day or before election day if you choose to go through absentee ballots or early voting. Just just vote, please. It is absolutely essential that every eligible voter vote. Okay, and again, we're going to bring this up over the top of that. We're not bringing it too far in. Almost really just to where it lines up with the inner corner of the outer corner of the actual eye. Is as far as we're really bringing that in. Okay. So now you can see where we're at with that. And the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going to take a white eyeliner. And with the white eyeliner, for one, I'm going to do my lower waterline with the white eyeliner very carefully. You absolutely do not want to poke yourself in the eye while you're doing your lower waterline. And I'm going to repeat that over here on the other eye. Okay. Now then, we've got the waterline done. We're going to take this same white eyeliner and the inner corner of the upper lash line. We are going to use this white eyeliner there as well. And we're going to bring that part way in on the upper lash line. And it's not going to show up real white, as you can see. And my pencil is actually picking up quite a bit of the eyeshadow. Just wipe that off a little bit. And repeat on the other lid. Like I said, just on the inner corner of the upper lash line. And then bring that into a V onto the lower lash line. Almost like the fox eye trend, but being done with white instead of black. As far as the way the inner corner is being done. There we go. You can kind of see that a little bit. Now then, I'm going to go into the blue glitter, which is the shade name of Strength, which is what the color of blue on the Pride Rainbow represents, with just my finger. And I'm going to, from about the middle of the lid out, I'm just going to tap that glitter on to the lid. It doesn't have to be real thick. It just needs to have a little bit of glitter there. And I will clean this up down here with a bit of tape in a minute, just to show you how easy it is to use tape to remove glitter from areas you don't want it. Again, repeat the process on the other eye. Like I said, from about the midpoint out to the outer corner with the glitter. Okay. And I actually forgot to get something out while I was prepping for this video, so I need to reach back into my eyeshadow bag. And in here, I have this loose pigment, and it is a silver shade, and it doesn't take much. It's kind of a bluey silver. And again, just with the finger, I'm going to tap that into the inner corner. I actually need to get a little bit more than what I've got here. And the way I do that is I just shake it so that more gets on the lid. Because using what's on the lid keeps me from overdoing it, honestly. And again, just on the inner corner, just to make sure that's nice and bright. And then again, also with the same shade, from about the center, maybe a little more to the inside than just center of the underbrow area, and just gently put that there for the underbrow highlight. Okay, there we go. See, not so hard. And from there, I'm going to use just a little bit of tape to kind of clean up the glitter that got where I did not want it to be. And this is just a little piece of clear Scotch tape, which should be in abundance in most stores right now because for some reason, everything is getting ramped up for Christmas when it's not even Halloween yet. And we just gently press that onto the glitter that we don't want, and it takes it away. And of course, if there is a tape that you do not react well, you don't use that. Use a tape that is not going to have a negative reaction with your skin. Okay. Sorry about that. It's allergy season. Now then. This is actually a brow brush. It's got the spoolie, which I do use to kind of brush my brows into the location and shape that I want them to be. But mostly I use the liner end of this brush. And that's what I'm going to use it now for. This is the Purple Tetris palette. It was an Ipsy collaboration. And I'm going to be using the shade Top Out right here with the liner brush. And with the liner brush, I'm going to do underneath the lower lash line. Pick up just a little bit more color there. There we go. See? I'm going to repeat that process on the other eye. And again, just the underneath the lower lash line, and you just bring it directly to where you started with the inner corner highlight and the outer corner liner. And you just bring it straight across. It does not have to be a real thick line. And again, if you don't have these specific products, you don't have to use these specific products. Now, something that I did not do in my original tutorial that I'm going to see if it will work on this one is the silver shade in here, which is T-Spin, this one here. I've got just a little bit of that on my finger and into the very outer edge, just to give a little bit more of a look of water spraying, to give the impression of a wave. There we go. I actually really like the way that looks. Okay, so that is the eyes all done. Next, we will be moving on to the rest of my face products, which is my Pacifica Bronzed Rose. As you can see, I have finally hit pan in my bronzer. That was kind of a big deal for me. And I've got my BK32 angle brush. I have no idea what company made this because, again, it's a well-used brush that has been almost rubbed completely clean. And I'm just going to tap that into the bronzer. Just gently tap it. Don't want to pick up too much product. And just at an angle underneath the cheekbone and right along the edge of the jaw, and repeat that process on the other side. Like I said, at an angle under the cheekbone and along the jawline, and then pick up just a little bit more and kind of tap that in at the temples and in the center, and then blend across. I don't need a really bronzed forehead because I don't have a really big forehead. And I don't know if y'all will notice, but my hair is currently also blue. I used the Schwarzkopf Got to Be, which is drugstore hair color. I did it myself. And just on the very tip edge of this brush, I've got just a little bit more bronzer, and bring that down the sides of the nose just to add a little bit of definition. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, just a little bit, because the fact that I wear glasses adds a bit of definition to the nose as it is. There we go. That's got the bronzer taken care of. And next we are going to go into my Ofra Madison Miller. It doesn't say, but it is a blush and highlight palette. I love the blush in this palette. It is by far my favorite blush. I just swirl my blush brush around in that, and then right along the apples of the cheek up almost into the temple area, I swirl my blush on very lightly. It doesn't have to be a strong blush, just enough to add a bit of color. There we go. And then the very last thing I'm going to do is this highlighter over here on this side is the one I'm going to dip into. And again, just very lightly tap into the highlighter. You don't have to pick up a lot of product. And gently tap that. And I don't even dip back in between sides with that. Just gently tap that in to the cheek, to the upper cheekbone area, up towards the temples again. The same path that you followed for the blush, but just a little bit higher. And then again, I just tap it like one time, and I bring it down the nose, onto the chin, and then with my fingertip, I go right onto the Cupid's bow area, which I don't really have much of naturally. So that helps to add a little bit of definition that's actually not there. And then just to make sure that nothing is too much, I go back with my powder brush and I just blend everything in. And I go over all of it and I just blend, blend, blend. It keeps everything from being too much. And see, where I added that concealer earlier, it's a lighter spot, which gives the appearance of more definition. And I go down the nose, on the sides, and in the center, and then across the forehead again. And like I said, I did not pick up any more product with this. This is just to blend everything out. I feel like I got a little bit too much highlighter over here, but I think it'll be okay. Now then, I almost forgot an important step on my eyes, which is my mascara. I'm using the Tarte C Surfer Curl, and I'm using this one specifically because of the reference to surfing. To surf, you have to have waves. It just makes sense. And we're going to apply that to the lashes. It's never fun to watch somebody put on mascara, and I apologize for that because their eyes get huge. But just apply the mascara, again, as much or little as you are comfortable with doing. I can't do false lashes, so therefore I do a bit more mascara. And I like this one because it adds length, it adds definition, and it does, true to its name, add a little bit of a curl. And I don't know if y'all can see the difference in the lid lashes that I have applied it to versus the ones I have not, but it does a really good job of doing what it's supposed to do. And I apologize for continuously putting this mirror in your faces on the camera. It can be really difficult to get positions right. And because I am still using my phone for recording, that adds to the difficulty. And then I go back in with just a little bit. And then you notice I have not re-dipped this wand. Dipping your wand repeatedly introduces more bacteria than using what is on the wand without re-dipping. And the less bacteria you could accidentally introduce to your mascara tube, the better. And I really love this mascara. Like I said, I love the effect that it has on my lashes of lengthening and defining, and the slight curl that it offers. And there you go. There is the mascara. And the last thing I'm going to do is my lips, which today I am using Laritzi Cosmetics Liquid Lip in the shade Swoon. This, I've noticed, has become a bit of a signature shade for me. Just gently tap that on, and then we will blend it out in a minute. Okay, and create the line I want on the upper lips. There we go. I needed to pick up a little bit more product from the back of the brush. There we go. Or applicator. There we go. And as I was saying, this has become a bit of a signature shade. Not necessarily this specific product, but this particular color. I have half a dozen products or more in this color from various brands in various finishes. This one right here happens to be my favorite because it's got almost a metallic finish to it. But that is all. I hope you have enjoyed the video today. And like I said, don't forget to get out there and vote. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.